Evening all, evening all. Hope everyone's well. Wrong music, Mark. He's not here. Wrong music, Mark. But it don't matter. It don't matter. Because we're here for a bit of an emergency stream. I feel the time has come to put Tottenham Hotspur to rights. And to be fair, I'm fuming. Absolutely fuming. I've had to hold in my words on other shows that I've been on. And I'm on our show tonight, so I can say what I want. Good evening to Lee, by the way. And big up to you, Jimmy. Big up. I don't know where to start, really, because there's so much wrong at Tottenham Hotspur. We can look up at the top. We know there's problems there. We can look at the scouting, the director of football. I think we know what's wrong there. You can look at the coach, the manager, if you like, the players. You can even look at the tea lady. I'm just fuming. At the position that just after Christmas, Tottenham Hotspur find themselves in. And I'm really, really worried on a real personal level of the team that I've supported all my life, that we're almost being diluted away. Is the best way I can explain it. I went to my first game to Tottenham in 1972 when I was 4 years old, to the old White Hart Lane, and I've been many times since. As you all know, I've had a big problem with Enic since day one, and until where are we today, Chief? Just over a week ago, I never stepped foot in Spurs ground while Enic have been in charge, and Daniel Levy. When Daniel Levy left, I stupidly almost gave Enic a pass, I suppose, for a transfer window or two. Because I just wanted to see what they would do without Daniel Levy there. Am I shocked that it's not a lot? And then you'd ask why. Why is it not a lot? I think everyone was happy when Kudos come in. He was a decent player for West Ham. Very technical, very skillful. Xavi Simons come in. He hasn't hit the ground running. I think you've got to give him time, but we haven't got time. This is the problem. We haven't got time. At the moment, I think we're 8 points clear of West Ham with the most horrendous February to come. I think it's both Manchester clubs, Arsenal, Newcastle. I'm just talking about in the Premier League. Hello to Mrs. Just say hello to us. Hi, Lise. Absolutely, Jim. Listen, let me just give you a little stat. I'll give you a little stat that I've heard tonight. Since Antonio Conte's rant, Fulham, so that's 3 years ago nearly. Fulham, I believe it is, Brighton, Brentford. Who was the other two? There was two others. Palace and one other have got more points since Conte's rant to the present day. If that statistic does not tell you that Spurs are in decline, then I wouldn't know what would. The problem you've had is, you see, for me anyway, is that even though we've bought a certain class of player, we haven't built a squad. We've been buying individuals. And when you stick individuals on a park to play in a team, it doesn't always work out that way. I don't think there's any plan. We have no identity. We don't know what's going to turn up under Thomas Frank. And by the way, I'm at the stage now where I think he's got to go. I really do believe he's got to go, because the performances, it's not like you get a couple of wins and a loss. I mean, the form, like Jimmy's put up there on the screen, the form, 4 home Premier League wins in 13 months. Absolutely relegation form, Jimmy. Absolutely. And I don't know how we get out of this. I could sit here now and go, yeah, change the manager. I don't know. I haven't even thought about who would come in to save this mess. But I'm looking at the bigger picture as well. And what, evening, Andrew. And what people have got to understand is that this has been going on since Poch left. And if it wasn't for him, by the way, and how he assembled that team and what he managed to get out of them, and yes, he did make mistakes along the way and in the final. We never got over the line. But at least the fans, when they went to White Hart Lane, actually enjoyed what they were seeing. You know, the last season, Poch was there. 17 wins and 2 draws. Never lost at home. And then you go to Jimmy's stats. 4 home wins in 13 months. Does anyone think that's acceptable? Because I don't. And by the way, if I swear inadvertently, because I do tend to do that when I get going, I apologise in advance. No C words will be used. But I am fuming. I believe, you know, that Tottenham spend money on players. When you look at it over the years and add it all up, we do spend money. But surely lessons have to be learned that when you employ a manager and you buy players, surely you're buying them for his way of playing. We don't even know if our manager's going to be there next week. Exactly, Andrew. You heard right. Because the people that are upstairs haven't got a Danny LaRue about football. We've had one fella come in 2 weeks ago. Mawson, I believe. Evening, Andrew, by the way. Sorry, I don't know if I said. Yeah, Mawson's come in, but what good's that? You know, everything Lang does, when he does anything, is like all secret, cloak and dagger. No one knows anything, which I can understand to a point, you know, because, you know how it works at Spurs. Once they know we're in for someone, they just go over the top because they know we're not going in again. What about all the wonderful messages from the Lewises and Vinay? Don't worry, we're here to change Tottenham. We're going to invest 150 bags. 150 million quid we're going to invest. Where is it? You sold Brennan Johnson, basically paid the same for Conor Gallagher. So that's levels you devils. And then you've got Sousa in for 13 million quid. You've got to be absolutely having a bubble bath. But nothing's new with Enic, is it? Look at it. Over the 25 years, that they've been in charge. Built the multi-purpose stadium. NFL. I've got to tell you, when I went to West Ham the other week, to the Spurs game against West Ham the other week, I didn't know, but they ain't even got our emblem on the seat. Do they not know that we're a fucking football club? The fans must not let this club be diluted. I plead to the 60,000 fans, especially the 20,000 that were booing in the stadium against West Ham. Get outside to the protest. It's peaceful. There's a bit of Enic out chanting. Get out there. Why do you want your kids watching this dross? I was bored shitless at the West Ham game. Absolute shitless. That ain't football. We're Tottenham Hotspur, for God's sake. And if it takes the fans to tell the board that we're Tottenham Hotspur and we are not accepting it, then get your ass down to the protests. You get no change if you don't ask for change. Surely everyone realises it. Hello, Sheriff, by the way. I've got to keep going for a minute. Surely everyone realises and can see that we're being watered down to become irrelevant. We almost are irrelevant now. All the fancy concerts, all the boxing matches. What do you think had happened to that stadium? I'm asking everyone in the chat, what do you think had happened to that stadium if Tottenham Hotspur weren't there? Do you think it would be used every week?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it would be banged out every week?
Mm-hmm.
Probably twice a week, once in the midweek and once at the weekend. Of course it would be. They don't give a shit upstairs about Tottenham Hotspur. Let me tell you now, 25 years of pain tells me that. All the false dawns. Yeah, we're doing this year. Yeah, we're doing that this year. And yeah, they'll go and buy a player now and again. They'll go and get a Kudos in. They'll go and get a Mickey van der Ven in. Because everyone knows he was all right at Wolfsburg. Love Mickey van der Ven, by the way. Was one of the better signings. But look at some of the shite. Look at the averageness we've got. We've got to open our eyes. Enic have diluted it over the years in very, very small bits so that you don't notice the difference. We're 6 bloody days away from the windows shutting, and we've got a pile of absolute wank up front. I'm sorry, but Tell ain't it, Odibert ain't it, and Solanke ain't putting a bloody ball in the net unless it ricochets off his foot 3 times before. It's not enough. And people have to understand that. Fans have to understand it. Fans, including me, including Mark, including everyone, I've got to have standards. But a lot of the standards have been whittled away. They take it out of you. They stretch it out over years. And we've got to where we are now. Like I said earlier on, over nearly 3 years since Conte's rant, we're worse off than what a Fulham, a Brentford, a Palace, a Brighton. We're bloody Tottenham. What are we doing? What are they doing up there? They're in control. And if people are happy with what they're doing, don't come out and protest, but then don't sit in the stadium booing when we lose at home to West Ham. Because I was in the South Stand and I heard it. If you're booing Frank, you're booing Enic. Because they employed him. It's absolutely disgusting what they're doing to Tottenham Hotspur. And if they think they can take the Tottenham Hotspur out of me, they've got another thing coming. And I'm sure there's many other fans like that. But you've got to open your eyes. Open your eyes and look at what's going on. I've got no doubt there could be another manager come in and give us a slight uplift. But the players are not consistent enough. I'll ask you again in the chat, when was the last time that you saw a Tottenham Hotspur being consistent? When was the last time Tottenham Hotspur were walking out on the pitch and we was playing one of the top teams, or we was even playing one of the middle sort of teams? We win today. And we did. We fell miles and miles away. People have to realise, again, we might have spent the money, but who's spending it? Because whoever's spending it is spending it wrong. Why do they persist on going and buying average players that give you average performance? 8 out of 10 one week's fine, but it's no good the following week. You get 4 out of 10. It's a disgrace, an absolute disgrace. Please, everyone, open your eyes. Tell your friends who don't watch this. Tell them to watch it back. People have to understand how serious it is now. But we're 8 points away. 8 points, yeah? 8 points. So let's just say, and I'll look on the worst end of it. Let's just say we go to the Manchester clubs. We go have Newcastle and we play Arsenal. And I think there's one other. We got Liverpool at the beginning of March, I think. And we got a Fulham in there and a Crystal Palace, I believe, as well at the end of that, towards the end of January, beginning of March. By then, West Ham, Nottingham Forest could have nicked a win and a draw while we've had 4 losses. Where are we then? We're 2 points away. 1 win for one of them 2 or both of them, then we're in the bottom 3. How's everyone's arse going to be then? Will it be puppy doo-doo time? We all be on here going, Cookie said this about 3.5 months ago. Because let me tell you now, and I'll tell you right now, I've seen some Tottenham teams in my time. I've seen Tottenham teams that have got bollocks in them, even when it's going wrong. I've seen Tottenham teams fight when their best players haven't been around. This team ain't got it. Yeah, they've got a Paulinia. Yeah, we've got a Mickey van der Ven. Yeah, we've got a Romero. That's 3 out of 11 if they're on the pitch. Who else is up for a row? Who else is up for getting stuck in when you're talking about millions and millions of pounds? I could sit here now and say to you, do you know what? Fuck Tottenham. Fuck Enic. I hope we go down. What good does that do for me? Why do I want to be watching Championship football next? I could say to you, yeah, I'm happy with that because Enic will probably sell now. It's not good for our football club, though. And that's what concerns me more than anything else. If we get embroiled in a fight to stay up, I truly don't believe we've got the minerals. I really don't. This is a whole throughout the club thing, like I said at the beginning of the video. This ain't to do with one thing. I know we like to talk about Frank and his crap and get him out. Who's coming in next? Who's coming in next? I can't even think of one. Some stupid £1 million to get him out anyway, because they're paying him so much. And then they've got to think about getting the next one in. So time you spent 30 to 40 million quid doing that, there's no player coming, is there? Because it looks like they've lied about their 150 million, like they lie about all the time. They're taking the piss. They're charging the highest prices in the league to go and watch a load of crap. And it ain't on. It really ain't on. And I just pray that people will open their eyes and see what's going on. I really do. It's that bad. We've even got a geezer from Arsenal in charge. What's going on? You might think that's pathetic, but to me it's not. I'm absolutely fed up with the dross that's being dished out at this football club. And you've got to remember, Enic are sitting there. They're like this, looking through the books every day, making a profit, all going into Tavistock or into this or into that. I saw a tweet the other day. I don't know if anyone in the chat or Mark saw it or not. It said that the man that's in charge of the whole thing at Tavistock has got the purse strings at Tottenham Hotspur. So it's not even anyone at Tottenham Hotspur that's making decisions. You got to go to this Boucher bloke or whatever his name is, something like that. And they've got to get permission to spend the money that they want to spend to do whatever they want to do with it. I bet if it's to do with hotels and property, he gives it over. Let me tell everyone, I'm telling you now, and I tell you all straight, you know me, you come and watch, I see all the regular names in the chat, you know I tell you, and I tell you straight. Until this lot go, don't expect anything else. Don't expect nothing. You've had your Europa League. It has to change up there. Some people don't see it like that. But they have to go, and the people that come in have to be something to do with football. You've got to have people upstairs that are clued up on football, whether it be an ex-football, whatever it is. I can't be having people that don't know football running one of the biggest football clubs in England with the biggest and best stadium in England, and they're not putting it in on the pitch. They're not investing correctly in the correct players. Because, you know, me and Mark have had this conversation a lot of times. Why would you go and buy 4 or 5 £20 million players? And I'm talking about for a board that wants to be better. Before someone comes at me, we don't pay the wages. I'm talking about from a board that wants you to be better. So are you going to go and buy 4 or 5 £20 million players? Or are you going to go and buy 2 £50 million players, which you know the level's better? Now, I know those £50 million players probably want 200 grand a week. I get that. And we know Spurs don't pay the wages. And I also get that. So there's another reason for telling you who's coining the dough in. Where's all the money go? Where's the 150 million gone? Where's the 70 million for Semenyo gone that they supposedly offered when Brennan Johnson went? The club are taking the piss. They're taking the piss, right, out of 55,000 fans that go there every week, dismissing the away fans, 53,000, whatever it is. Because they know that they'll continue to fill it up. Well, they come unstuck against Dortmund, didn't they? Because I think the fans told you, even though the result went well, you had the best part of 10,000 empty seats at your stadium. And you carry on doing what you're doing up there. Because next time you'll end up with 20,000. Then you'll end up with an half-empty stadium. Enic need to understand that people come to watch football and pay good money to come and watch the best because they should be employing better players and a better manager. They should be getting their structure in place. They should have a plan to know what they're doing. There is no plan. There is no structure. I've got more structure when I'm sitting on the loo. It's just a piss take. I'm sorry. Right, rant over for the time being, unless Mark gets me going again and starts me off again. But I'm telling you now, half an hour, right, I could go on for another half an hour and another half an hour and so on and so forth. We are a disgrace. They are a disgrace up there, right, lining their bloody pockets instead of investing in the football team. It's a disgrace. 25 years of it, people. And every year they get away with it. Let me tell you, in the summer, it'll be, oh, we're going for, yeah, we're doing this. And in January next year, it'll be, oh, don't know, we're doing this. And we're going to go and do that. We ain't doing fuck all. 6 days to the end of the window. 6 days. And they think Conor Gallagher on his own's the answer. Everyone's opposed to this Andy Robertson move. Listen, think mentality, people. Maybe he's not as good as he was anymore. Who cares? Mentality. He's a winner. As Danny would say, chicken dinner. We need winners. We need mentality. We haven't got it. I don't know what else to say, Mark. Well, I do, but it'll be another 10 minutes then. So over to you, mate.